Everything else must wait. just doesn't stop. Easter Sunday morning, resurrection morning. There's a word in Acts 12, King James Bible I'm reading from. Short verses, but I want to read a lot of it so I can give the closing remarks when I finish reading. Acts 12. Now about that time, Herod, king, stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with a sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quadrants of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him, brother. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, Cast thy garments about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and was not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. And ward, they came unto the iron gate that led into the city, which opened to them of its own accord. And they went out, passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from them finally. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord has sent his angel and has delivered me out of the hand of Herod from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. Amen. Amen. When God overturns the verdict. When God overturns the verdict. Amen. When God overturns the verdict. And we've all had some verdicts in our lives. Yes. The writer of Acts carries us into an interesting moment with the Apostle Peter. All right. It is a moment when Peter has every expectation of his life being ended. All right. In his mind, it is all over. Yes. And the author carries us on this mental excursion momentarily. And as we watch it come up on the screen, we look here and watch the unfolding of the hand of God. All right. When Satan thinks he has us captive, and we're in a position where there is apparently no way out. However, God is at his best.
All right.
When we come to the end of our trail of hope.
Yes.
Peter has resigned to the opportunity that this is it. It's over, but I'm not afraid. I've come to this place, and undoubtedly God is finished with my work.
Yeah, yeah.
I really don't mind. They'd already killed James, the brother of John, with a sword.
Yeah.
He's already gone in. Peter sees no reason that he should be saved.
All right.
He's already in a maximum security prison. He's already under lock and key. They already have him captive. There appears to be no way out.
Yeah.
And I don't know about some of us. I don't know if there's anyone here this morning who has ever had your back against the wall.
Right.
And the appearance was that this is it.
Right.
I don't see any way out of this situation.
Yeah.
I'm at a point of hopelessness.
Yeah.
Perhaps my mission is over. Perhaps the journey of my life is now coming to a close. It is in that moment that seems we've come to closure. That moment of impossibility of being saved.
All right.
That moment when there are no great warriors around.
All right.
We're not expecting an army to come and deliver us. But Peter stands alone. He's mentally alone. He's not spiritually alone. But he stands and he begins to concede his situation. And I don't know if you've ever been at that point of conceding. Right. When you have given up, when there seems to be nothing to look forward to, when it's all over.
All right.
When you've come to that mental place of acceptance, that mental place of I've fought a good fight. I've finished my course. I've kept the faith.
All right.
This is where Peter is. Yeah. He's at the end of hope.
Right.
I just want to share with you this morning. Don't allow yourself to run completely out of hope.
Yeah. Amen.
Always keep an extra little package in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're a child of God, it matters not how dark and dismal the situation becomes. God never ceases to be God. He never loses his power. He's never overpowered by any other power in the universe because he is the ultimate power. And we're in the hands, not of a mighty God, but an almighty God. This is where Peter is. But this situation looks so dismal. It looks so hopeless. I mean, he's at a great disadvantage. There are no real friends around him. Everyone around him is an enemy. Everyone around him is looking forward to his death. Not just a common death, but a death of suffering. A death of him having time to remember the promises of God just before he takes his last breath. But watch him. The Bible in verse 4 says this, and when he had apprehended him, put him in prison and delivered him, watch the 4 quadrants, not 1 quadrant, but 16 soldiers. Quadrant 4.
All right.
16 soldiers, God in one man. It is not like this hunchback is brave and looks like Joe Wheeler or somebody.
All right.
He would appear from his physical aspect as being weak.
All right.
But it's not his exterior that's so important.
All right.
Now, I want to park here for a minute because it's not what you look like from the outside
All right.
that determines your greatness.
All right. Amen.
It's what's in us
Yes, sir.
that determines who we really are.
Yeah, yeah.
We're housed in these physical bodies, but there is a spirit that abides within us, that strengthens us, that holds us when everything around us appears to be tumbling down. God still keeps us under his power, and we're walking under his authority.
Amen. Amen.
Peter, however, sees himself at a losing position. But God.
Amen.
But God. He was kept in prison. But prayer.
All right.
Prayer was made without ceasing
Yeah.
of the saints, the people of God. I'm slow now, but we're going to get in a hurry in a minute.
All right. All right. Right.
Prayer was made without ceasing. Prayer was made
All right.
without ceasing
Amen.
of the church unto God for him. Now, I want to put a point right there, because if the church did more praying than messing,
All right. Amen.
Lord, my Lord.
Amen.
My Lord.
if the church did more praying
All right.
than messing, if the church looked more like the church than the street,
Yes, sir. Say that.
if the faith of the people of God
All right.
would rise up and learn to believe God and know that God is able, no matter how dark nor dismal the situation is. Listen, get rid of fear.
Yes. All right.
Get rid of fear. Erase it out of your emotional state. Gain the power to handle that situation.
Yeah.
Watch this. Let me help you out, so you don't think that it's just you or just me. But here's one of the Lord's inner circles. This is the man that leans on the bosom
All right. All right.
of Jesus.
All right.
This is one that the Lord has put much favor in.
All right.
And yet he thinks he's at his end because the situation is dark.
Yeah.
I want to promise you, every one of us will have at least one dark day before we leave here.
Amen.
Every one of us will lose some of our best friends
All right.
before, and I'm not talking about today.
All right.
I'm talking about because God blesses you.
Yeah.
Because God lifts you, because God raises you, because you're no longer subservient to them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
As long as you're subservient, they pat you on the head.
All right. All right.
They love you.
Yeah.
But as soon as you begin to be their equal, and don't let God raise you to another level that carries you beyond them,
All right.
you lose them immediately.
All right.
But the church still loves the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're praying for them. They're praying for them. And listen, without ceasing, they're not breaking.
Yeah.
They're continuously in prayer. They're continuously in communication with heaven.
And every now and then when things get tough, don't start going into the pity party. Start saying, Lord, help me. Christians make me sick. I just don't know how I'm going to make it.
All right.
What?
All right.
You don't know how you're going to make it?
All right.
Your Father is in charge of the universe. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The world and they that dwell there. What are you worried about? Some clown? You worried about some clown? You worried about the negativity going on? What? The earth is the Lord's. Fullness thereof. Clowns don't bother me. And they shouldn't bother you. You don't have to act foolish. Just keep on being you. You don't have to show them nothing. Just keep being you. Your stability. Your stability should be wrapped up in your salvation. You should always know you're saved. And it doesn't matter what some person is saying about you. It doesn't matter what they like you or not. What do you care really? Whether they like you or not is between them and God. Let God handle that. You keep walking your path. Don't let idiots distract you. Walk your path. Stay on your track. You're going to win. Peter he's trembling a little bit. He's doubting a little bit. But the church that he's been preaching to, they got it. The church is in prayer. His congregation is in prayer. And listen, what I like about it is without ceasing. They're working in shifts. They're keeping it going 24/7. One stops, another one picks up. You see, if you want your church to go somewhere, you can't put it down. You got to raise it up before the Lord. If you wanted to grow, to expand, to take over your community, lift the church before God. I'm not talking about your building. I'm talking about your brother and your sister. Even when they go negative, pray them back positive. All right. Because when God overturns the verdict, he overturns the verdict in our minds one by one. It's not always a corporate situation. Sometimes God takes a slow walk through the congregation. And it doesn't matter what he has to do. God knows what he's doing. He knows who every one of us is. And I tell you, I don't want to be on his good side all the time. Peter's on his good side. Pastor Peter been preaching. Pastor Peter been leading people to Christ. And now here Peter is in prison because they want the best out there. And they want to destroy Peter. If they destroy Peter, they think they destroy the church. But Peter's not the Lord of the church. He's just been obedient to the Lord of the church. Now he's in trouble. And he looks as though this is it. They're going to kill me. But Peter already knows if they kill him, he knows where his eternity is. He's not so afraid of dying. but the pain they intend to cause. But then the Bible said Peter therefore was kept in prison, but, this is why I really love this conjunction. But prayer was made without ceasing. Of the church unto God for him. Continuous prayer, perpetual prayer was made for him. And I wonder what would happen if daily someone was uttering a word for the church. And I'm not just talking about Beulah, I'm talking about the church. Because, see, we're part of a greater body. We're part of the whole church. We're part of the universal church. When we pray for the church, we're not just praying for the Beulah family. We're praying for God's people all around the world. Those who are going through trials, those who are going through trouble, those who have led others out of darkness into the marvelous light of God. We're praying for the church. Church is praying for Brother Peter. Because Peter, God has allowed him to be responsible for these people that are part of this church. They're praying for him. Peter himself is weary. He's almost to the point of giving up. But Peter, Herod would have brought him forth. Same night, Peter's sleeping between two soldiers. Listen, he's well guarded. Soldiers on both sides. They mean for Peter not to get away. They mean that he's going to meet death on time. That he's sleeping between two soldiers, bound, watch this, with two chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. This is the ultimate expression of maximum security. Peter's in maximum security. There's no way he's going to get out of here in the sight of men. They have him covered on both sides. They have the gates covered. They have every exit covered. Peter is going to die in their mind. How many of us have had our backs against the wall? How many of us have ever been in conditions where we thought we'd never make it out? How many veterans in the house been to war? And late at night, Reverend Mosley, you had to run for the bunkers. Late at night. They never did it much in the daytime. They do it sometimes in the jungle, but base camps, they just about always hit at night. When everybody's resting and sleeping, they hit base camps at night, and we all scattered, but the thing was we had a plan. Make it to the nearest bunker. The bunkers were almost direct, proof, missile proof. They were well lined. They have Peter between two soldiers. Everything is on lockdown. There's no way he's going to get out. Oh, but God. I want to pause here a minute because there's somebody in this house who has gone through stuff in your life that you thought you were not going to get out. There's some folk in this house, maybe not here. When the pickup man was talking about coming to get your car, and just in the nick of time,
God put what you needed in your hand.
Yes, sir.
Peter is in his mind coming to the end of life. In his mind, he has pretty much surrendered.
Yeah.
But notice what God has done for him. God has people around him
All right.
that he can speak to on the part of Peter.
All right. Amen.
God has people around him, connected to him,
Yes.
that are preparing his escape.
Yeah.
God can take angels, commission angels,
Amen.
and send the angels to get you.
Amen.
Look at him. Look at him. Behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison.
Yes.
And he spoke on the side and smote him, brother, on the side, and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly. And his chain, listen, he didn't break his chains off, his chains fell off.
Yeah.
His chains just fell to the ground.
Yeah.
Angels are there to get him. Got him up. Chains fell off his hands. The angel said unto him, gird thyself. Put your clothes on.
Yeah.
Put something on your feet.
Right.
Wear your shoes.
Yes.
Get yourself dressed. You get ready to go out of here.
Right.
Put your clothes on.
Yes.
Cover yourself up.
Yeah.
Rise up quickly. Bible said the chains fell off from his hands. The angel said to him, gird yourself. I like that. Gird yourself. Put your clothes on.
Yeah.
Put your clothes on. Get ready. Get out of here. I know it looks dark. I know you thought it was over. But I want to tell you, God is now overturning your situation.
Amen.
Some of us have situations now in our lives.
Yeah.
Some of us don't know what we're going to do now on this Easter Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Some of us are wondering what Monday morning is going to bring. We're concerned about old friendships that have gone sour. We're concerned about how we're going to make ends meet next week. Yeah, Easter Sunday is good, but what happens come Monday morning?
All right. All right. All right.
Gird thyself. Bind on thy sandals.
Yeah.
He did. Said to him, cast thy garments about thee. Follow me. Here's an angel telling people, I'm your point guard. I'm going to lead you out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to lead you to safety. He went out and followed him and wished not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision.
All right.
Peter had a fixation so much on death that he himself had forgotten the power of the Almighty God. But the Bible said when they were past the first and second wall, they came unto the iron gate that lead into the city, which opened to them of its own accord. Yeah, God has a way of opening gates without you raising your hands. They went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. When Peter was come to himself, he said, now of a surety that the Lord has sent his angel and has delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. Now I want to tell you on the way out of here,
when God makes preparation for you. Yes, when God overturns the verdict. There's nothing nobody can do when God overturns the verdict. Yet man said Peter was going to die. Man said we're going to crucify him. Folk have said what you were going to be, what you couldn't do, how you couldn't make it. But God said you can. Yes, this man is in trouble. Yes, this man looks like he's not going to make it. Yes, this man looks like it's too dark for him to ever see the light of God again. Yes, this man is helpless of his own volition. But oh, God didn't leave him to his own self. God left the angels there to lead him all the way out of the building and then take him to Satan. And God moves the angels and allow him to stand on his own. You don't need the angel all the way. God just lets the angel take you to where you need to be. And God said, I got you from here. Go where I send you. Do what I've called you to do. Allow me to have my way in you. And watch me work miracles in your life. Doesn't matter where you come from, but it matters where you're going. If you live the life, some glad moment. When this life is over, some glad moment. When Satan can't do nothing but shake his head because he thought he had. Some glad moment. When God meets you in your lowest time and raises you to the pinnacle of your greatness he had planned for you.
Yes, sir.
Tells you your problem's over. Get yourself dressed for deliverance. Peter was come to himself. He knew he didn't do it on his own. When God overturns the verdict that man has put on you, you should leave here today knowing that no matter what people say about you, and no matter how strong you think they are, never let people determine your decision. Never ever give people the privilege of saying what your outcome is going to be. Even in your darkest moment, God never stops being God. He still controls heaven's army. Angels are not dead, they're still alive. And he can send them when and where he pleases. Anybody in this building this morning can accomplish things much greater than you've ever dreamed. Never let anyone poison your mind so much so that you can't hear the voice of God. Trash and treasure just don't hang out together. Your mind is one of the greatest things God has given you. Never let anybody take it from you. Every one of you in this building has the possibility of greatness in your life. And it doesn't matter what hell you've been through. God has you in his hands. Learn how to love in spite of. Learn how to walk the walk God has called you to walk. Stand in the faith that God has placed in you.
and allow that faith to grow.
Yes, sir.
This man, Paul, that God brought out of one world into another.
Yes.
The people he once hated,
Yes.
now he loves.
Uh-huh.
The people he once chased, now they're with him on the Lord's team. Every one of us is on the Lord's team. We're not all playing the game like we should yet. But let God have his way.
Yes, sir.
And watch God do for you what God wants to do for you. Miss Mary's going to come and help me open the doors of the church, because somebody might just want to become a part of the ministry. God owns the verdict. Never consider yourself a victim. Always consider yourself a victor.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in your life, you're going to get the victory.
Amen.
If you stay with him.
Amen. Hallelujah.
You're going to get the victory.
Amen.
You were born to win. You were born to lose. Everyone in this building was born to win.